us in a world living in unity through love.
Oh, you know we had to do it, right? Brother empowerment.
It's been a long
Helping brothers to break through without breaking. With international viewership. That means that we are getting our message worldwide and nothing can stop us from showing our brothers and their family love. So you know we had to do it right. Come on now. Brother empowerment, we about to do it. Let's go. We love you guys. Come on,
let's go, let's go. My brother hit my phone, said, bro, let's go, let's go. We gotta build a home, we gotta build a throne, somewhere that we can roam. Let's get these brothers up and start to build each other up. It's time for us to level up and power. Yeah, we stepping up higher from the fire that ignited from the heavens up. Now it can't expire, cause my brother's always checking up. On me, put your blessings up. Homie, never letting up. On me said, call me if you need, and couldn't believe it. I finally found brothers that's healing, now I receive it, cause they invited me to breathe in all of the meaning of the true brotherly love. Just what I needed, man, it's such a vibe to build with brothers through the struggles. Man, it's such a high to have them help you through your troubles, make you feel alive. Cause as they raising your spirits, you start embracing your fearless. You can't deny that you're clearing all the demons from your heart, wishing it from the start. To any brother that wanna step in and be a part, cause it's easier to do it together than be apart. Hope to be the beacons of light that can shine in the dark.
come on, let's go.
Hey, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on, everybody?
Good people.
It's Thursday, so you know what that means.
It's Brother Empowerment Day.
So if you are new to this show and this is your very first time watching, where have you been? Because Brother Empowerment, we have been around. This is year 3 for us, and we are so excited because this season we are letting go. And boy, I didn't know what letting go meant, but we letting go everything. Yeah. And we're starting over. Anything that is holding us back, anything that is hindering us from being the light that we were created to be. The only thing that seemed to be holding on to me is this weight. So, bro, before we get into our brothers and our special guest, how was your week?
Man, bro, my week was expensive, man. Oh, my week was expensive. I finally got my AC unit and my furnace. Well, yeah, my AC and my furnace replaced. And when I tell you, outside of purchasing a home, that was literally the most expensive thing. Well, a home and a car. Outside of those two things, it's literally the most expensive thing that I've ever bought or paid for in my life.
A home?
No, getting my AC unit replaced. Outside of my home, outside of my house and my car. Gotcha. My AC unit replaced was the most expensive thing I ever paid for in my life, and I don't want to do that again. I don't want to do that again. So that's how my week has been, bro. Stressful and expensive, but I have been working out, so that helps.
Oh, okay.
How about you, bro?
Mine has been quite unique. I done went from being one of those individuals that used to have life figured out. Mm-hmm. Now life doing whatever the hell it want to do by its own rules, and I'm just sitting here like, hey, life. So that's really what it has been. Getting back into like the professional world, mm-hmm. and like after 4.5 years of not having to like do that, mm-hmm. that is exhausting. Like people working 9 to 5s, like regular 9 to 5ers. I'm like, how did y'all do it? I feel so out of shape. Out of shape when I go to the gym, out of shape when I go to work. But yeah, man, other than that, just adjusting to the real world, mm-hmm. and the real things now after being away for 4.5 years. Woo! I respect y'all people who go to work every day religiously, mm-hmm. and put in. How you go to work and put in 100% effort? I just be tired following the rules. There's so many of them, but that's been really it for me. Now, it looked like the stream isn't showing on LinkedIn. This is likely not an issue with LinkedIn. They're working on it. Okay. They're fixing it on LinkedIn. We're sorry. I don't know what's going on over there. So we're going to go ahead and just remove it. And we're good to go. Okay. LinkedIn is having an issue. Okay. They let us know everything. So, brothers, before we get into our guest, E, how was your week, bro? I got you on mute, so unmute yourself.
What's up, brothers? Good to be on the show again this week. Sorry I missed the last show. It was very insightful. I did tune in though. This week for me honestly has been a good week for reflection. I got to talk to a lot of my brothers and we built a lot. Just help with my outlook on life in general.
Gotcha. Iconic.
Hey, what's going on, brothers? How was my week? Tiring. Started a new job this week. I guess kind of. Schedule was weird. Gotta wake up mad early, 4 o'clock in the morning. So I'm usually in bed right now, but I haven't been on for a minute, so I'm trying to stay awake to be on here with y'all brothers so we can empower each other's.
And for the record, guys, I gave him a pass because I'm adjusting to this real world. He adjusting to a new schedule, but he wanted to be on his own. Yep, I'm just saying.
Free will.
His bedtime is 6:15, and he trying to do it all late. That's 2 nights in a row, bro. I ain't got nothing to do with that.
Tomorrow's Friday. It's all good.
He was posting at 9:15. I said, "What?
Supposed to be sleep. Supposed to be sleep.
So tired."
But Darren, going to tell the people who you are, who you be, who you is.
Hey, everybody. My name is Darren Calhoun, pronouns he, him, joining from Chicago, and this is my second time on the show. Glad to be back with you. Looking to, cause trouble, have fun, do what we usually do.
That's pretty much it. Now, guys, if y'all are viewing in Facebook land, go ahead and put some comments on to let us know that you're watching.
Yep.
But in the meantime, we got
my Booski, aka She-Hulk, aka Rashia. What's going on, babe? Hey.
Hey, Booski.
She be quick with them comments every week.
She
ready.
We don't even know which one. Look, my honey and hey bros, and this one talking about my love and my bros. We don't know who they talking about.
We gotta claim them.
Y'all better start.
Hey, Sora.
Yeah, what's going on, Chanel? We got Nikki Webb in the house. What's going on, Nikki?
Hey, cousin. Thank you, Sarah. And then he got the
2 strands.
Yeah, looking like DJ Quick on steroids. See, hey, what's going on, Stevie?
What's going on, Stevie, bro?
Sean over in Cali, what's going on,
What's up,
Deshaun?
Deshaun, bro?
I'm quick to support my husband. Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, I forgot y'all got married or engaged.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. He was like, it's one or the other. It's one of them things. So
she decided to keep me.
So Darren, last time you've been on, we used to get topics from other people about things that they wanted to discuss. But this time we wanted to do quotables all around somewhere having something to do with letting go somewhere. And we found that the conversations actually are more engaging. Chanel made us aware of that multiple times. So we know at least she likes it. If nobody else in this world like it, she like it.
Yep.
That's a thing.
Yeah, Sora is 100% legit. She just tell us how she really feel. So now we're going to get into some quotables. I don't even know where some of these came from, bro.
We did the first one already.
We did?
Yeah, last week.
I'm waiting for one of my bars to show up on Brother Empowerment.
Come on, bars.
Well, let me tell you this, bro. After your next release on December 10th, a lot of them going to come up.
Yep. We're going to be dissecting your songs.
Especially that way.
Sounds like a setup.
It is a setup.
I'm just
ain't watching that one. I won't be on them.
We're gonna ask you firsthand, like, what are your thoughts about this quote?
We're gonna have everybody on. We're gonna have Noor on. We're gonna have everybody on.
Yeah, Mr. Iconic Bond. Tell us your thoughts. That's what we're gonna say. Okay, what about this one? Did we do this one?
No.
If I woke up tomorrow and didn't have $1, as long as I have my heart, I can get it all over. Mr. Wale, Mr. Well.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's just saying, like, even if you take a step back or you lose it all or whatever, which I'm saying he didn't have $1, as long as you still maintain and hold on to what makes you, then you'll always find a way to, triumph and persevere and move on or progress, however you want to say it. So that's what it says to me, at least.
Look, there go Darren.
I was supposed to be on mute. I'm getting these comments going.
But I guess now that I'm in a place where I'm looking at all of this, if I woke up and tomorrow I didn't have $1, I've literally been in that kind of 3 times in my life.
Yeah.
Where I experienced that. As long as I have my heart, I look at it kind of differently now, I think, because I'm going through a separation and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
The I can stuck out to me.
Mm-hmm.
Because sometimes you don't want what you had before,
mm-hmm.
and knowing that you can do what you can, you start to realize what is not valuable once you lose it.
Right.
Now they sometimes say you don't miss a good thing until it's gone.
Mm-hmm.
Well, sometimes you don't realize something is not really of value to you till it's gone.
Yeah.
So you're like, oh, I guess I really didn't need that. It's kind of like those boxes that's still in our garage. We needed them that we brought them into this house, but 4 years later, they're still in those boxes. So did we really need them?
Mm-hmm.
Or those people who hit you up during the midst of a global pandemic. They were like, "Hey, where you at?" And you're like, "Not with you."
At home, being safe.
Right. You like, did I really? Are you somebody in my life that I want to risk it all for, or is it going to be a hard pass?
Yeah.
Definitely been changing some relationship statuses.
Oh yeah, factual. The pandemic has definitely shown me, how strong and how weak some connections were for real. So I'm with you on there, on that.
Or clearly define them, because some of them, like the one thing that I hated about being away from home, like I was a family member that was away from home. I was always tired after you'll take days off, and you felt like you needed more days off to recuperate. But everybody at home, they good because they didn't go nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
And then you sitting there like, well, why y'all ain't come see me? I'm the out of towner.
Mm-hmm.
So it made it easier to say, you know what? I know what our relationship was anyway, because you never visited, and I always visited you. So it helped me clearly define that, we weren't really important to you.
Yeah.
And I ain't talking about those who on the sick and shut-in list.
Yeah. Folks who are completely able, gallivanting around, but you're not on their destination list.
Yeah, take trips.
Yep.
They be in Miami. Mm-hmm. They be in New York. They be in California. You be like,
Miami's where the friendships break up, though.
Yeah, people quick to say, I haven't seen you in a while. You never come to see me. Well, last time I checked, you had a car too, and gas.
Oh, Nikki said, imagine if tomorrow when you wake up, you only had what you were thankful for yesterday. Kind of the same.
Interesting thought.
Yeah.
I just wake up with my good looks, then.
That's all you're thankful for? That's messed up, Jay.
She said yesterday. She didn't say the week. She just said yesterday. You got to be mindful of the things you think about yesterday and every day. I'm just saying.
It was just a moment in time.
And now it's supposed to be the average of the moments.
Oh, so now you're gonna redefine her quote? That's not what her quote said.
You're remixing.
That's not her quote. Only said yesterday. What y'all think about that quote though? For real, brothers. Iconic.
You got something? No. All right.
He said, "Don't ask me nothing."
I have a few things. Kind of like what you were saying, Jay. Like, it makes me think about situations where I didn't have nothing in the bank, and I still woke up the next day and did what I always do. You know, like it didn't matter, because of the will or the willpower to just continue forward,
Yeah.
right? Like you have to just keep going. But then also the other aspect of it is he says heart. To me, it's kind of like heart and soul. You know, it's not just having, you know, as long as you have your heart, I can get it all over. I feel like when you get put in situations like that, it not only causes, I guess, not pain and suffering, it could be pain and suffering. It causes some kind of emotional distress, right, to like the heart. But I feel like it also causes something in your soul to change too, right?
Yeah.
In some instances, not all the time, maybe not everybody, but I feel like in some instances it does do that. And I remember even growing up, going through some of the phases that I went through. When this happened, when I got put in situations where I didn't have any money, I didn't have anything.
Mm-hmm.
I had the willpower, but my soul got sold to money for a minute, right? Like then I was like, okay, I need to chase this money. So it's kind of like you lost your soul a little bit. You change,
Yeah.
you maybe like you forego some kind of moral or value that you had in life because of that situation to get out of the situation, right?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that, to your point, I think that with every loss, we lose part of ourselves anyway.
Yeah.
Um, and not in the negative way, like, oh, I'm not me anymore. Every memory, every experience is part of you as well.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So even if that memory or that experience die or whatever that thing is, it dies. And it's not necessarily always a bad thing. It's just a part of you that is no longer there. I
Mhm.
thought about it like when we bought our first home, we decorated the house to a T and it was beautiful in our first home.
Mm-hmm.
But when we brought everything from our first home into our apartment, a 3-bedroom apartment that was actually bigger than the home, it didn't have the same feel.
Mm.
Yeah.
And then when we put that same stuff in our second home, it didn't feel right. So we ended up having to get rid of it because the purpose that it served at that time, it made a beautiful memory, but it didn't necessarily make a beautiful present.
Yeah.
And so when we moved, we thought we was moving to something better, but we did lose part of our life and we lost what was beautiful in that moment.
Right.
You know, just so it's just so many different ways that those things sometimes happen.
What's good, Deuce?
Grammy Award winning producer,
The Deuce.
Producer and rapper.
Darren, do you know this guy?
Not yet.
He's a Grammy Award winning producer from the Tar Heel State.
Awesome.
Uh-huh. North Carolina, stand up. That's their new king.
He's from Rocky Mount.
Peter Pablo gave him the towel. So they said life
And its essence is the
and its
ultimate
essence
currency.
are the ultimate currency. She came back and said, okay, now I see why she said it. Is having technical issue. He'll be right back.
You should get on your phone. Your phone seems to be working fine.
Okay. I love this dude. You want to read this one, bro?
Love takes off masks that we fear we cannot live without and know we cannot live within. James Arthur Baldwin.
Yeah.
Man, I think it's one of those self-explanatory things, but really, man, just pure organic love, man. It's kind of disarming in a way, and it really just breaks down a lot of the barriers that we have, and man, it really just hits and drills right to the organic us. And it's just, experiencing that is really just, I would say, dare I say, a once in a lifetime experience for real, maybe, or I guess 2 in a lifetime, whatever you want to say. But it's a really unmatched, unparalleled experience for real. It's a better way to say it.
Yeah. And no, Darren, I want to hear what you got to say because I love James Baldwin.
Yep, I'm thinking about this song by my friend Bobby Joe Valentine called "Chase Away My Dark," and I first heard it at a conference probably sometime around 2014, and the song was just about how we all need love, we all need to be vulnerable, but to be loved requires vulnerability, and most of us don't want to be vulnerable. But to be loved truly as we are, people have to see us as we are, as opposed to the good version of ourselves that we put out on Front Street and we hope that people like. Um, and I remember hearing his song, and it resonates the same way as this quote for me of how, like, we deeply long for love, but we've been socialized and taught to not be our real selves, not bring our whole selves to the table. Oh, well, you can't let people know you like that because they gonna clown you or they gonna make fun of you. But the reality is, like, no, I don't really need the people who can't love me as I really am. Like, if I've got to perform for you to be lovable, then am I really being loved, or am I being loved to the fullness of my capacity? Um, and that changed the way I did public ministry. That changed the way I do relationships. And all these years later, I'm still like learning about masking because I'm also learning about masking as a neurodivergence, or the ways that people who are autistic or have ADHD, or even those who have survived trauma, we learn to present certain ways that look normal. And it really means that we're spending all kinds of mental energy with a curated self that's not totally us.
Yep.
And it's exhausting. And
Yep.
so, as somebody who's just recently this year diagnosed with ADHD, I'm like, oh, wait, is that what that is? And learning to, like, again, in another way, not just in who I am in ministry, not just who I am as a man, but also who I am as somebody whose brain works differently. To be like, it's okay for me to work differently. I've never had a 9 to 5 job because I ain't built for that. I'm built for independent projects, and that's the best thing I could have given to myself.
Right.
Woo. You said a lot, Dan.
Yeah, no,
I
for
do.
real. For real, especially the.
Because I ain't built for it. He spoke to my soul.
I heard you, and I saw you kind of. Nobody said that.
That was a rhema word.
Yeah, no, I feel that, man, for real. Especially, I mean, because of the stuff that I went through as a child and as a teenager, I created a whole personality that was not me at all, and I had to peel that back and find and uncover the actual me. And it didn't happen until I was like 32. You know what I mean? So, nah, yeah, you definitely bars right there for real, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, go
If
ahead.
if you've seen that episode of Big Mouth on Netflix, there's an episode where I can't think of his name, but he's the black kid, and he's talking about how he's got all these different hymns that he presents. The jock who's the basketball player, the smart, studious kid who's the nerd, and the mom's like. And then there's somebody else that he presents to his girlfriend, and there's still somebody else that he presents in other places, like to the police when he's trying not to get killed. And he, like, the song is making fun of the fact that, like, he's living all these different codes, he's living all these different masks, and at one point in the song he's like, and I'm not sure which one is me. And I think that as black men, as people of color, like, we really do end up having to create all these selves, and if we're not intentional, we don't even know or spend time learning who we are and what we actually like, as opposed to what's expected of us.
Yeah, factual.
And I think for me, this brought me all the way back. Actually, come to think of it, this was one of the quotes that we used when we did the implicit bias workshop, because it's directly in line with the core foundation of love is a parable. Like, we don't believe that there's different types of love. We believe that there's one love.
Right.
And so we kind of go against that narrative, and we talk about helping people understand that when you connect with organic love, true love, you really are connecting with who you are. But the problem that most of us have done is created these facades, and we do things to protect the pseudo versions of us, and we place the organic us in our sacred box, and we forget what it is that we value, but we never forget how to protect it. And this protection comes out as aggression, sometimes shutting down, sometimes fleeting, whatever it is to protect these things that we value. And that's really because we were taught early on that our organic self is not of value. So we valued it. We chose to value it, but we tucked it away. It's very similar. What is that crackling?
Somebody hungry.
Yeah, it sounds like paper or something. But we there's a story because I was molested, but there's a story of an abuse that happened in the scriptures of Abner and Tamar. And Tamar was raped by her brother. And one of the parts that people miss is that her other brother wanted to avenge, the fact that she was raped. And he had a problem with the dad, the dad is David. And was like, how could you not kill this dude, even though he's your son, for raping your daughter? Now she can't do anything. But the part in there that they missed is that even the brother, in his protection, he told her never to speak of it, and he put her away. So she lived a desolate life, and that's what a lot of us do. There's things that have happened to us, and we never speak of it again, and people who think they're really helping us, saying by not talking about it, are really robbing us of being free to live a life after the trauma has happened. And this is where I talk about when love comes in, and it says, regardless of the scars that you've endured, it helps us to appreciate them, but it also helps us take off any assumed mask. That's why when people come into my presence, I just want you to be organically you. I don't want the rehearsed you, the stereotype you, the cookie cutter you, the assumptive you. Just be you. If you get mad, you get mad. If you cry, you cry. You know what I'm saying? If you cuss, you cuss. It doesn't matter. Just be you, and we deserve spaces where we can be us. And love will tell you when you front. Love will tell you, like, you don't got to front around me. Even when you're mad, like, I don't care if you're mad, you ain't got to front around me. I'm here. And I think a lot of us try to call ourselves helping people by silencing them. And that's the total opposite of love.
Yep.
And that's that generational trauma, right? Like we did some of that. We learned some of that as a survival mechanism, or our brains figured out, oh, well, stuff is too hard right now. So shut up, sit down, make yourself small, or blow up, go off, overreact, whatever it was all a part of how our bodies were just trying to protect us in that moment. But for us to then learn that we're okay now, for us to then learn and to show to others that they're okay, right? Like, it's not only you should be authentic, you have to learn, where is it safe and healthy for me to be authentic? Who are the people that I'm choosing? Because sometimes you say, well, every time I open up, I get betrayed. Because we probably have to learn how to choose different people, so that we can anticipate who knows how to hold my pain, who knows how to hold my tears, who knows how to see me as I am, and it not be something that activates and triggers them into doing some old stupid stuff so that they, feel comfortable.
Yeah.
It's a quote you use on your first time here, or your first time on the show, Darren. We can't assume care. That has stuck with me for ever since, because we can't. It has to be like verified.
Yeah. Chanel said the vulnerability that comes with being in love and having love for. Nikki said love means we can both be masked off.
Future.
What's going on, bro?
What's up, Rick, man?
Oh, that was code switching episode. She was telling you what it was. And the name was Devin.
Thank you.
She's like, I love Big Mouth.
It's a funny cartoon, for real.
And
it's smart.
Said, love gives you comfort and power to be your true self, exposed yet empowered. are we really able to live if we aren't our true self?
Go ahead, babe. That's what I'm talking about.
She got bars. She was like, put me on the next one, Iconic. I got it. This is She-Hulk. But I will say this too. What I have noticed, it's easier for us because we can't excuse or reduce the power of muscle memory.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you've been through a traumatic life or you've been through a shield life, that muscle memory is there.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of us will abort love for the sake of what is muscle memory. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I knew what to do in this episode, or I knew what to do when this happens. So if I'm in an episode when I don't know what to do, I will go back to what I assumed worked. I will go to a form of protection because I feel like a form of protection is better than having no protection. And I think a lot of us miss that part. E, what you got about this statement? What you think?
Again, I see a lot of layers. I automatically relate it to basically the love of the Almighty first and foremost. Basically, you can't come to Him unless you're coming 100% correct. You can't come basically false or with stuff up your sleeve or hidden agendas. You got to come 100% your authentic, real self. And that's probably like the main love that's not gonna succumb to whatever you're trying to hide. Now with people, you might be able to pull the wool over their face and stuff like that, but with the Almighty, it's exactly what it is. You have to come correct. Mm-hmm. And I also look at it as the pursuit of love would make you have to take off whatever you're hiding, that mask that you're hiding, that thing that you fear. If you're pursuing true love and real love, you got to take it all off. You got to bear your true self. Otherwise, whatever love you seek, especially if it's coming from other people, they're only going to love that version of yourself that you're portraying to them. And that might not be who you truly are when you lay in the bed, when you wake up in the morning. So, yeah, I think the pursuit of love in itself will have you looking in the mirror first and foremost at, all right, who am I? What kind of person can I present to the world? And is this who I am, basically?
I actually like that you said that, because what I have found in the process of healing, because it took me 37 years to be organically me and accept my purpose, accept what I was. At 37 is when I finally said, ooh, I'm going to do this. But a lot of people don't want the healed version of you because they don't know what their position will be in that.
Yep.
If I've been your caregiver, what happens when you leave the hospital? So some people want you to be in that rehabilitative state or be in that dependency state because they receive joy out of taking care of people. And so they are willing to sacrifice your healing for their gratification. And you got so many people that are like that. There are even friends who are like that. And I even did a post for so long. I had 4 male friends and we are friends to this day, but I'm not as close to them as far as in relationship as I am with some of the newer brothers that have come into my life. But the one thing about it is they understand cycles. Mm-hmm. We were close in college. We were close in high school. We were close in that. Just because we're not close now doesn't mean we won't be close in the future. Right. And it doesn't mean we're not friends anymore. Yep. It means, so every time I tell them about, oh man, I just met this new person and they cool, they celebrate that. Mm-hmm. But you got a lot of people that don't want to celebrate your new connections, that don't want to celebrate your healing, that don't want to celebrate your advancement because they fear their position in your life.
Yep. Absolutely.
Let me see.
What's going on, big sister?
Hey, she come in and agree with you. Go ahead. Y'all, you thinking I got something iconic, or you just want to move on to the next one?
I'm just absorbing. That was a lot to absorb. I mean, y'all really covered it all. Any thought that came to my mind was covered. So I don't really have anything to add, but just agreement.
He thinking about covers. He like, I need to be in the bed.
I'm also, yeah, like I keep zoning. I'm not gonna lie, I keep zoning out on E's the thing in the back. I keep zoning out on it.
See, you the one who told me to put it up, man. Come on.
It's nice. It's nice, bro. It's hot. I can't stop looking at it. It's like it keeps changing.
Right. It's all about that relaxing atmosphere.
Darren, gonna read this one, Darren.
It don't put me to sleep.
All right. The worst feeling is feeling unwanted by the person you want the most. Drake. So should I jump in on that one?
Go for it.
I mean, it's one of those things where, like, we're talking about love. We're talking about what we have, about what's in our hearts, and feeling unwanted by the person you love the most. I'm gonna just take it there. Like, most of us probably first think of somebody we want romantically,
Yeah.
but what about the love we want from a parent or a caregiver, and
Yeah.
feel like we have to earn it, or feel like we have to prove ourselves to be worthy of it? What about the love that we feel like we want from our family, of feeling accepted and feeling cared for, and for whatever reason, often of no fault of our own, that we've always felt that it's just out of reach? Like, I think that's what sets us up far more for the romantic relationships down the road, where we also repeat the pattern. But yeah, if you can't tell, I'm in therapy right now, so getting into
We
all
all
the
are,
childhood
bro.
stuff.
I was about to say, man, I'm going on 5 years, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's
That's
funny you
an
say that.
amazing perspective. Thank you for sharing that. I didn't even think about it like that.
Yeah.
That's actually where I went. The first thing I thought about, because I was rejected by my father first.
That's what I was thinking.
Yep. As soon as my father, but the sad part is my father was a great father up until him and my mother decided to get a divorce.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't like it was always there. It was a new side of him. And I'm like, I remember for so long of my life craving him and wanting to be like it was when I was a kid, and I never got it. And so having to come to grips that he made a decision to no longer be my father was the hardest realization, but probably the most powerful realization. Because I made a vow to never make my kids feel that way.
Mm-hmm.
And if I was ever blessed to be a father, to choose fatherhood. And the second one that came to me is actually to my faith. There's a scripture in Malachi, and it's so funny because it comes right before the infamous tithing line that people seem to miss. It's when it say, "Return unto me, and I'll return unto you."
Mm-hmm.
And I just think so many times that as people who claim to be believers, the one thing that they do is reject the one part of the Father that he wants the most. Like, so many people want his hand but don't want his embrace.
Mm.
And I just feel like a lot of us reject even the best parts of ourselves for an assumed benefit. And so I went there too, like, oh, sometimes we don't even know what we really want because the assumption of want is always ever present.
Ooh, yeah. Nah, for real.
No, for real.
I'm gonna say, you know, I like that you guys are digging deep into this quote, because you know this is brothers empowerment where we think deeper. I get that, but let's be honest here. Like,
he about to take it back.
we talking about Drake here. This the certified lover boy. We know what he on. So basically, in his mind, if you listen to a lot of his lyrics, it sounds like he's a hopeless romantic. Like he wants the attention from that one girl that he's really thirsting for, and all the attention that he gets from everywhere else just doesn't suffice for him. And a lot of us been in that situation. We think, yo, Drake could have any girl in the world except for the one he wants. Mm-hmm. Obviously, from you know, and that from album to album to album, you could hear just it takes a toll. Like, he almost doesn't feel complete because he doesn't have that love that he's seeking for. You know what I'm saying? Why is it always the one you want the most is the one that ain't even looking at you? Like, It's so weird.
I
I
mean,
ain't never had that.
I think
We want what we can't have, bro.
I think for that particular question, it goes back to what Jay was saying. It's about the assumption of want. Sometimes we looking for something that we think that we want, but that's really not for us. As we focus on that. I mean, I've been in that situation before, and you know what I mean. So I get that, and I think you have a great point. It's Drake. So you know, like I said, we
Yeah,
know.
I mean, you could look your best. You walk up in the room, everybody tells you look good. But if that one person that you want it from doesn't say a word, you don't feel like you look good at all. It's like, whoa, I didn't get that from, you know. And it works vice versa. That one person can tell you beautiful when the rest of the world tells you ugly. And to you, you the flyest person in the world now because the one person said beautiful.
That's somewhat of like a human nature thing, though, right? Like we want to be accepted by something or somebody. There's a void there, I feel like, for every person that to an extent has to be filled from somewhere.
Yeah.
But you know what? I will go back because I think that sometimes we discredit the nature of a person because of the persona of a person.
Okay.
You know, not just thinking about Drake, it's kind of like when Ashley Cobb made a quote about Common. She said one of the things about Common is he can't keep a woman.
I remember that. Yep, I remember that. I remember.
And for a lot of people, Common is like the dopest brother. So it's like a lot of women go after that. So what is it about him where he can't stay in these relationships? And it could be no fault of his own. Like, I'm not saying he's wrong or right, but I think that sometimes we get caught up in a persona because, like, for me, I appear to be an extrovert, but the only reason why I became an extrovert in theory is because introverts weren't getting job opportunities. They just wasn't. Like, you had to make something happen, but no one understands the anxiety associated with being an extrovert. And this is not an opportunity to get into struggle Olympics because everybody gonna start saying, well, I got anxiety, I got this. It's a totally different thing when you have to literally be a totally different person just to get the things out of life that you feel that you deserve. So naturally, when I'm at home by myself, for the most part, I'm really low key and you know, we done had several of those moments. I just don't want to talk. I don't want to talk about nothing. I don't want to do any of that because I'm talked out. And so most people who get to know me intimately at first, if it ain't nothing that I really want to talk about, they're shocked that I'm quiet. And they shocked that my house is so quiet because I don't need all that ruckus in my life. And so a lot of people want the animated Jay, like the Jay you see here. And I'm telling you, like, this is not who I am, but this is me proving a point, or this is me doing something. I will commit to what I need to do, but that doesn't mean this is organically who I am. And I think a lot of times we want the persona of a person, and we ain't no Energizer Bunny. You want a lot of times people to be there. And I think like Drake and like many other artists, they all want the same thing that we all want. We all want acceptance. We all want to be belong. We all want to be valued, not by what we do, but because of who we are. And I think we can't discredit a person just because their persona may be one way. You see what I'm saying? Because we'll switch on people. Like, you know, my favorite, Lauryn Hill, when she came out, everybody loved her. But as soon as she decided that she wanted to have 13 kids and have a spiritual union, all of a sudden she crazy. When she started turning up late because she said, I'm a human and I ain't finna go on y'all agenda, now she crazy. But we turn on people too much when they don't fit the persona that we think that they should be, or we want them to be all the time. Ain't nobody got time for that.
I don't think anybody was trying to discredit Drake. I just think that's what he was talking about. He's not talking about family. He's talking about a girl he's trying to get the whole time. Just like he said, right? Like, I think that's the point. I don't know, Eve. That's the point that you were trying to make.
I wanted to ask you, like, how are you with like rejection when the person you want, that you want, lets you know, like, what do you feel?
I mean, I think.
Who you asking?
Yeah, who you asking, bro?
Asking me. I mean, it feels it is a pretty bad feeling. It's not. I mean, it's not a good feeling.
Does it make you think less of yourself? Like you're not inadequate, like you're not good enough.
In their eyes, yeah.
I was talking about in your eyes.
In my own eyes, it depends on what it is and who it is. If it's somebody close, you know what I'm saying? Kind of like what the brothers were saying earlier about like family, right? About fatherhood. If it's like my father or something like that, then yeah, a part of me is gonna be like, well, damn, I'm not good enough. You know?
Yeah, that's kind of where when I first read the quote, before I started thinking about people, I thought about rejection, because to me that's the foundation of this quote is rejection and how you process it. Whereas some people process rejection as what's wrong with me instead of analyzing, well, okay, why did this take place, or what about the other person? Why are they rejecting me? And they automatically go to something is wrong with me. And I mean that's happened to me, because of how I was before. I was looking for acceptance and validation from all these external sources, and if I didn't get it, I felt like something's wrong with me. Whereas now I look at it as nothing may be wrong with me. It just may not be the right fit for whatever is going on. Whether it be a person or a situation or whatever. But I think like I said, the foundation of this quote, I think, is rejection, how people deal with it. Whereas Drake says it's the worst feeling in the world, where somebody else might be like, nothing wrong with me if they reject me, there's something wrong with them. So yeah.
There's a quote in the comments from Terrence.
You ain't gonna do it.
You said what?
He did this last time trying to take over my stuff.
Why you mad? But why you mad, bro?
All you gotta do is say, "Hey, cue the comment." And then you go, "There's a comment."
There's a comment, and that's not even the one I was thinking of.
Well, you're gonna read it now. You're gonna read this one, and we're gonna go down.
I got agency and autonomy. You do what you want. Love will let you know what you can and cannot do if you don't want to. But go ahead, Jay.
I want you to read this one too.
I know you want me to, and I'm declining. Go ahead, Jay.
But I need you to meet Terrence. Terrence actually is an author of 2 books that center on love. He's a poet.
Yeah, Terrence is dope.
Terrence is real dope, and his wife is real dope. So go ahead, Darren, since you want to take over the show.
If I'm taking over the show, then it's going to be the other quote about Drake that Terrence wrote, not that one. But we can come back around to this one.
Okay, look.
Because there was a point that I was about to make.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
It's all right. We can co-create this show.
Okay.
Terrence says, I think in Drake's case, it's more like you don't realize what you had until it's gone, certified lover boy. And I think there's a lot of validity in us thinking about where Drake writes from a lot of time. I mean, I can't say if that's who he is as a person, but the perspective that he takes in a lot of his writing is this kind of thing of let me let you know what you're missing, or I don't like the way you are and you gonna miss me kind of stuff. So like there's another piece to how we can, or another perspective to how we can look at this.
For sure, definitely.
Gonna get that one, Darren.
Insistent. That's noted. Terrence says love is the vulnerability to be your authentic self when you realize that it serves you and others best. That's what's up. Now, I ain't even gonna read the whole. This ain't.
She said reciprocity. I was letting you do it. I was like, yeah, go ahead. And then Chanel said status and validation.
Yeah.
And Tara said, I think this level of hurt is based on some minor connection misinterpreted. There is a glimmer of hope to grow something. No stranger turning down a drink evokes hurt. Ooh.
Come on, hurt.
And the fact that he has a son now, mind you, the boy is what, almost 5 now?
I think so. Possibly, yeah.
Well, I think that it depends on the person. Like, to be honest, I've never been rejected by any female that I pursued romantically. That has never happened to me. The rejection that I've always experienced came from a familiar setting. I was
He
rejected.
looked like he's saying that's cap.
Yeah, like y'all just let that go. Like y'all let that just roll off his tongue and just nothing.
Okay.
But
He can have it. He can
I
have it.
asked the
Yo, Dwayne,
question.
nobody ever said, "Yo, nah, not today," or I'm good tonight," or like nothing.
See, in my head, that's I never went after anyone who I thought wouldn't already accept me. But that's another conversation within itself.
Darren, we're on the same thing because if you're selective and you play and you scout the room and you already know, like you have a much higher percentage. It's like shooting, it's like taking a layup versus taking the 30-foot three. Like if you are really just scouting and you going for the mid-range layup, like it's a higher percentage shot, so you may not miss.
But I think that also is just like when you have, a disability. I think your body naturally, leans towards those other gifts.
Mm-hmm.
My rejection came from family. The community always embraced me. So it probably was never even a concern of mine like other people. I didn't have the family backing. So my insecurities were more with family and I had more confidence in the community. So I dare not get rejected. I maybe they wanted to reject me, but it just didn't happen because, the confidence was there.
Yeah. You need to teach some classes, man. You need to go ahead and let her. You batting 1,000. Come on, son.
But where I struggle is with non-sexual or non-romantic relationships, people who are just family. I do struggle with that. Mm-hmm. So I'm not going to sit here and say like rejection from family hits me a little differently because the community in the world has always been my family. So I think that it depends on the person. So I will never look at this and think about some girl that I really wanted that didn't want me.
Yeah.
Have you rejected someone?
Oh, yeah.
Was it easy?
Heck yeah. Because I believe in honesty. I don't believe in stringing people along. I don't believe in all of that. I'm like, no, thank you.
Say it just like that, too. No, thank you.
Dismissed. E, I think you need to go ahead and speak on it. Go ahead.
Oh my God!
You think I'm capping? So it don't matter. You will not insult my character. I ain't never lied.
Yeah. No, I ain't said you lying.
You said I'm capping. You said it's all.
No, I said he looked like.
I just admire your outlook on things. That's all. I just admire your outlook. I mean, to say, you know what it is. If you're not
your outlook.
You can have a perspective even if it's wrong.
Right. He called me a little lie box. It's my bless his heart.
It's crazy because we were guest on a podcast when Jay actually mentioned that, and the other, I think 3 guys on the podcast had almost the same reaction. They were like, "Wait, what?" I mean, there's an exception to pretty much every rule.
I mean, but why we want people to trauma bond with every trauma? I just don't think that. Yeah. That's just like certain people everybody haven't been molested.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So that's like me saying, "Oh, you don't been molested before," because it happens in so many families. Mm-hmm. That's not true.
Yeah.
I feel you, Dwayne. It's not being rejected. It's her blocking her blessings, right?
I don't know nothing about.
You never got rejected. She just blocked her blessing. That ain't got nothing to do with you.
I have never got rejected, and I have never had a bad breakup until it almost got bad with me and my wife, and now we evened out. I've never had a bad breakup, so I don't understand why people break up and they not friends. Mm-hmm. My ex-girlfriends support Love is a Parable. They have met my wife. They supported it. Some of them even came to our wedding. So it's like certain experiences I've never had, but then there are also experiences that I did have that I can relate to. My rejection just didn't come from something romantic.
Yeah.
It came from family.
Let me ask you, I don't know if you could tell me if this is like too much to ask. Will you be dating in the future?
I tried, but I felt like I was cheating, so I stopped.
So are you prepared for said rejection that you've never experienced in all your life? When you do meet that one girl, you batting 1,000 and you walk up to her thinking you got it and ain't what you thought.
I'm anticipating some rejection, and I probably would laugh. But I'm anticipating some rejection.
Okay. All right. At least you're a realist. That's what's up.
And then that's when I probably say she just blocking her blessing.
Hey, he doing his best future invitation. Hey, you didn't reject me. You just blocked your blessing. It's all
That's
good.
it.
I still need to know what the sample size. I need to know what the sample size for this survey was.
No, I mean, there are people who feel like that. Like 9 times out of 10, when I get rejected, because I've been rejected, I can't even count. But I usually feel like, she don't even know what she just left behind. She has no idea. That's probably a little arrogant, but it kind of helps me to cope moving forward. So,
yeah.
Look, here you go. She says, she said, what up? Forget you, Chanel. Saying Dr. Bullet to support my previous.
Why so mad?
It definitely depends on the person. And they're just like, yo, I was hoping Jay didn't flip the switch. Don't question that percentage.
I just wanted to understand the data behind the conclusion. Right. That's all.
Let me see the raw data.
My bro said, my bro said my whole life. That's the percentage, my whole life.
Ever.
That could have been one girl, though.
That part.
It could have been.
Maybe two.
Yeah. Jay didn't go through those phases. Like those stuff that some people say, that's why I usually be quiet. When people talk about they went through that ugly stage, that bullying stage, I ain't never had no ugly stage. I ain't never had a problem getting a girl. It wasn't because I was fat. Like people talking about I was fat and I didn't go through that part. My rejection all came from family. My rejection never came from the community. I was always accepted. I was always popular. I didn't have that. I always knew how to dress. I can't help it that I was born dope.
But it builds character. You know what I'm saying? It builds. You get rejected and you learn how to come back different the next time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, I'd approach it differently. Rather than that we need it, I'd say some of what we're talking about is perception too, right? Like engaging with somebody who you didn't necessarily shoot your shot at, but then you realized, oh no, that's not going to work. Mm-hmm. One person might call that, a failure or less than a rejection, and somebody else might call the situation something else. So how we define stuff also does make a difference.
And I think I do agree with that, because my approach to dating has never been like being a conqueror, like going out there and looking for someone. I believe in organic relationships. I don't know why I've been that way. And I allow things to evolve. And truth be told, sometimes I was the last one to be like, oh, we in a relationship. So those things happen. And I think that a lot of people, how they approach things, I'm not that way. And so when you're a person that when you're seeking family and seeking connections and you don't have that foundation, the way that you approach the dating scene is totally different than someone who has that foundation. Like you have people who are rejected and they can go home and somebody will say, oh, you handsome or you this. I didn't have that. I just knew I was handsome and I knew I was great, but that all came from the world. And even now, how do you think Love is a Parable grew? It's because they became my family. Y'all became my family because of the very same reason. But when it comes to rejection from family, that is far too familiar. That's far too traumatizing. And that's why I believe that family has nothing to do with blood. Yeah. And I just think that, there are people who went through rejection. I'm friends with people who have been rejected. I'm talking about like in high school that I know. And I'm like, ooh, that was an ugly rejection. And they'll tell you, I just didn't go through those phases. And also when I dated, I never publicized who I was dating and all of that either. I always kept things like that private.
I'll say this, man. The way a lot of dudes handle rejection shows a whole lot about their character, though. Like a whole lot. It does. Some dudes get rejected and they go off. Like it's like, whoa, bro, you never got told no before? Do you know how to handle no? Like, you're not entitled to that, right? Like, it's weird.
That's real.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I ain't never been rejected by no girls either.
You look like you came out the womb married, bro. like you came out the womb and your wife was right there next to you, just handed to you. Like, here you go, it's gonna be your wife.
That was like the biggest lie from.
Wow. Now he had a pre-birth arranged marriage.
That's very discriminatory.
A pre-birth.
What you trying to say, bro?
I don't know. You ain't got time for that.
No, I had time. I had
You
time.
like you ain't got time for out to be out pursuing a bunch of women and all that. You focused on your purpose, man.
Well, I appreciate that. I'm focused now. I wasn't focused back then, though.
Did you get hurt? Have you been hurt, bro? Is that what like what? All right. What, nah, we ain't gonna go there. We ain't gonna go
This
there.
is
Go
like
ahead.
therapy right now.
Hey, you can do it.
What were you gonna ask though? What were
No,
you gonna
what
ask?
made you switch your focus from? You're not married, are you? You married?
I am married.
Oh, you are married. All right. So
Married.
how long you been married for?
11 years.
11 years. And you're how old?
35.
35. Okay, so for about 24.
And she dope.
Mm-hmm.
She dope. His wife is dope.
She doper than him.
Yeah.
Oh, I dig that. That's probably what has you so grounded. You got a good woman in your corner, man. A good spouse.
It's a blessing.
You know the way he said, "You been hurt? You been hurt, bro?"
Yeah, like what were you gonna? You been hurt before?
Yeah, I mean, 1 minute you pursuing
I
women.
stubbed my toe walking up here.
He's like, this is E Young's man. We're gonna take over the show. Y'all, an hour went by fast, man. I ain't gonna even lie. I enjoyed it.
Truly.
Every time, Darren, you come on, Darren, we gotta get you on more often.
Yeah, man.
Because every time you come on, we have fun.
Truly.
But I do like E, and I love you being on too, because you force us to look at things differently. But I do think that one of the stigmas that we still face in, I can say in manhood, is that every man experiences the same things, which are not necessarily true.
Yeah.
And I think that far too often we tend to do that. Like a good example, I'm that guy that don't like to talk about sports.
Mm-hmm.
And the sports that I do talk about are not, I ain't like basketball since 96. But I ran track and field, but you don't ever see a whole bunch of guys around talking about track and field. Like, you seen that 4x4? No, they don't do that. So when they talking about football, I'm like, okay, next.
Yeah.
But I think that there are a lot of assumptions, just like cars. Like, I don't care about a car, really. Give me a nice Honda or Nissan. I'm good.
I care about a car right now because I need a new one. So if anyone wants to donate, my birthday is tomorrow. Just putting it out there in the universe.
Happy early birthday.
Happy birthday, man.
Happy
Thank
birthday.
you.
I just think that a lot of us have to start appreciating and leveraging our strengths and leveraging those opportunities and start talking about that. Like every brother that's close to me, I always tell them I struggle with family issues. And I think there are a lot of brothers who do struggle with family issues, like they have a family unit, but it may not be healthy and they don't know how to break away from it. Now that I can tell you how to break away. I can tell you how to cut a tie, a soul tie, an emotional tie, whatever you want, whatever bond you want. I can show you how to do it in 3 days.
Said you want to burn a bridge? I got you on that too.
Right. And build a whole new island. I can show you how to do all that.
And then you put salt in the water, so if they try to swim.
But it's true. And it's like some of my friends know, like, I have a 3-day processing period. It takes me a minute to process how I feel. The only time I'm angry is when I don't know how I feel. Like my emotions, when they're all over the place, I'm like trying to figure it out. That's when I'm angry. After I figure out how I feel, and then I go through my processing period in 3 days, I'm making my decision. So it's funny because all my friends who know me will call me in that 3 days and be like, hey, cut that out. Because I've started that process period. And I do it with anybody, if it's family or anything, because it's almost like you need to learn how to pick up the pieces and keep moving. And I think a lot of people think just because something hurt, that doesn't mean you can't heal from it. And sometimes healing is walking with a limp until you get strong again.
And everyone heals in their own way. Some people do need that isolation for 3 days to collect their thoughts, and some people need people around them constantly to get them through it. You can't tell anyone how to
you
heal.
give me 3 good days. Woo!
On that third day, huh?
Listen. And on the 4th day, don't come to me because I really will be like them talking about it stinks now.
Surely it stinketh.
That thing good and dead. What we doing? What we talking about this for?
But that it is important to know what your processing style, how you heal, how you perceive hurt. I mean, there's a lot of different things that, like he was saying, or like you were saying, Jay. Like we can't just assume everybody has the same set of tools to even process.
Yep.
Sometimes all we do know how to do is to numb and to get our minds off of it, and that can be okay as a survival thing. But like getting connected with what tools we need to be able to work stuff out. Like I'm a verbal processor, so I already know I have to keep good, healthy relationships with people who aren't going to necessarily just try to fix it for me, as well as people who aren't necessarily there just to gossip or just to be like, oh, are we gonna go fight? Like, no, I need people who can hear and reflect back. But that's a special person. Not everybody can hold my drama that well.
Yep. Let me see. Terrence said, Jay is smooth with his words, even if a woman wasn't into his. Dog, he don't call me a manipulator. That ain't a compliment.
You ain't a manipulator. You just got that Drake anointing.
That's that backhanded compliment. She might not like
Right.
it, but you're a manipulator. You're a finesser. You know.
Look, dark skin with light skin swag.
That's crazy.
That's it.
Oh, and Chanel said, "Happy birthday, bro," and happy birthday again.
Woo, woo.
Chanel said, "So how does that work if the other person needs to talk it out, but you in your 3-day period?" No, I talk in my 3 days.
Like the other person?
Yeah, I do everything humanly possible in them 3 days. But when you like, nah, we ain't gonna talk 3 days.
Yeah.
I start processing. So it's like the third day from me trying whatever it is. The third day, I'm like, I gotta move on. And so I learned that. I can't tell you how I learned that, but I did learn that early on. Like, give yourself time to process it. And I am a quick processor. And I think about, I'm like Dr. Strange. I thought about all possible outcomes, and only one works.
Okay, but Tony Stark can't die in this universe too. Now hold on.
But yeah, I give it 100%. I'm open to communication. I'm open to everything. I'm even open to being uncomfortable. But I'm not gonna drag it out after that, because I'd be like, dog. You know what I'm saying? 3 days. A lot happened in 3 days. It do. A lot happened in 3 days. And on the fourth day.
It's Christmas. Why are we already on Easter? This man preaching a whole 7 last words sermon.
But no, that's really it, man. So now, look, we always go over. We've been going over since we started this new season.
We sure have, and we ain't really been caring either.
Right, because it's our show.
Yes, our show.
So Positive Brother shout out. Who want to start it out? Darren?
I'm about to say he's the guest, so Brother Darren.
Sure. Shout out
and Darren
to...
was the one who helped us pick out this dope camera.
Sure is.
Nice. Come on, upgrade.
Remember I called you? He was like, "Can you call me?" I was like, "Darren, I got this one and I got this one." He talking about, what did it come with? Oh, that's a good deal.
Right. You got, iron sharpens iron. Yeah, I want to shout out to Keith Green, Dr. Keith Green. We just had a screening of Crystal Clear Chicago, which is about the rising use of crystal meth in Black communities. Our documentary focuses on Black gay and bisexual men. But yeah, it's much like how the AIDS crisis kind of came up while nobody was paying attention because it was the people they don't care about. Meth is still looked at as a white people's issue, and it's affecting Black folks, and we want to do something about it. So he's leading a coalition that I'm a part of, and I appreciate how he shows up as a scholar, as an artist, and as just a real good brother. So major props.
Thank you, Dr. Green. Make sure you tag us in that. At least tag me in it, so I can watch that stuff too.
For sure.
Iconic. Oh, look at him. He going fast.
He's zoned out. Yeah, look at him. He's about to pass out.
Who?
You?
I want to give a shout out to all the brothers batting 100 with the women that never been rejected before. Y'all the real heroes. Y'all the heroes, man. Y'all the heroes.
Sorry I didn't have a doomed life like you people.
Oh man.
Oh, so I guess it's my turn.
You gotta quit that one, bro.
A hater. Why you hating on me?
That was legit. Your only probably. Wow, iconic.
It's like you've been taking digs at me.
You are petty.
You know what? But I can't say nothing about December 10th.
Truth is petty, man.
You right.
Oh,
Truth is petty. I can't wait
December.
to.
I don't know.
December 10th.
Oh, the
wait
album
December
release.
Because Truth is Petty coming out December 10th.
VIP,
Sure
let's
is.
go.
What you got? What you got, Elijah?
I want to give a shout out to all of the brothers that are separated from their children for whatever reason. Those fathers who really want to be fathers, really want to be active in their children's lives, and for whatever reason are separated and not able to do so. I definitely feel your pain. That is one of the worst feelings to ever have. So shout out to those brothers going through that, especially during holiday times when family's supposed to be together and they're just not able to do so. So
yeah. Dang, man, yeah.
Dog.
I think that's the first time anyone's
went
ever
to a
mentioned.
tearjerker,
Yeah,
yeah.
man. I don't even.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
Got me. Okay.
Woo. I don't even have kids. Man.
Go DJ quick.
Oh, that knocked me off the box for a second.
He had to collect himself.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, chill out, bro. Chill out, man. Yo, see, iconic, your petty has spread to my brother over here. This is terrible, yo.
Iconic.
So, but nah, man, I want to shout out to all y'all, man, just because I look forward to Thursday is my second favorite day of the week, but I love this right here, man. Every Thursday, I'm excited. I could be having the most terrible day, be knocked down, drag out, tired, whatever, but as soon as the show starts and we get to going, I'm instant energy. So I want to shout out to all y'all, man, for real, man. And I definitely just want to shout out the brothers that are really just committed to being brothers. Like Darren said earlier, iron sharpening iron. Like I want to shout out brothers who are really just about being brothers. And that means really, bridging, either damaged or lost connections, or really just welcome other brothers into the fold, man. Like that's what's up, man. That's really, really positive. So that's it, man.
That's awesome. Yeah. I just want to tell you guys, I love every last one of you. Mm-hmm. And brother empowerment is special to me for several different reasons. I, for one, never was really close to men. Never had a desire to be. Mm-hmm. All of that. And I never thought that something like this would happen. And I thought that brother empowerment was already something that was phenomenal, and I thought we had great relationships. Mm-hmm. But how you brothers have been there with me and for me through the separation, all of you guys responded the same way. I remember when I told Darren, he was like, "Do we need to get on the phone?"
Listen, you got to show up when you got to show up.
Yeah. I was like, "Nah, I'm good." He was like, "You sure?"
Yeah.
But that's how everybody has been, and some days, it is a lot. Because you're developing a new rhythm, and I just thank all the brothers that have been there for me and are being there and showing up. Some days it's hard, and some days you almost lose it. I almost lost it. Well, I almost lost my brother, Iconic, but we worked it out because that's the first time he showed me what he did. He allowed me to have a temper tantrum and look at us. Now we're stronger. We're stronger than ever.
Look at his face.
But it is true.
He's over there plotting your demise.
I almost lost my brother, and I realized that he was somebody that I really wanted in my life, and I want to keep in my life because I value the relationships that we have, man. And I'm just so grateful for every last one of you guys because y'all literally have helped me to, I think, heal healthily and not heal like a warped tree. Y'all guys have allowed me to heal like a tree should be by being that stick or that goad, as we say in the scriptures, to keep me straight. And I appreciate everything that you guys have been for me. So thank every last one of you. E, thank you. Iconic, thank you. And I want to thank your other 3 Egyptian brothers who actually came up and showed out and helped as well. Mo and Darren. I mean, I love you guys, and like all the people that's in the comments, Terrence, Rick, Deshaun, all of you brothers have been amazing. Stevie, all of you guys have been amazing, and I love you. And I feel like this is what Love is a Parable is about. When you do something that helps you, and you didn't even know it was supposed to help you, you thought you was doing a service, and it also began to serve you. So I appreciate all of that. And we're in the process of revamping Love is a Parable and all of this. And I'm so excited about the new journey that we're going to go on together. And every last one of you guys are going to do phenomenal things, not just in 2022, but just here on out, because we're connected to one another, and greatness encourages greatness. So I'm just excited about what's in store for all of us. I love you, brothers. Every last one of y'all.
Much love.
Love you too, bro.
Peace, peace.
And if you're out there in whatever world you are and you don't feel like nobody loves you or nobody cares about you, you just met, oh, look at the little 5. You met 5 people. You just met 5 people who do. And we will be, we having a special, we're going to be in a special location next week. Remember, it's the 9th. The 9th, we're going to be at a special place. So it's going to be a different Brother Empowerment, but you still will see us and the one guy who hasn't been rejected, but the other people who have. You will see them and us. We'll see you guys next week. We love you guys, and we out.
Cause as they raising your spirits, you start embracing your fearless. You can't deny that you're clearing all the demons from your heart, wishing it from the start. To any brother that wanna step in and be a part, cause it's easier to do it together than be apart. Hope to be the beacons of light that can shine in the dark.
Come on, let's go.